Getting ready to take my lap around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway here. I will narrate once we are on the track. We're up on the north end of the track right now, but turns 3 and 4. And there's a little gate here that's going to take us right out onto the track. This is at the very beginning of turn 4 on the oval. Turn 4. The first thing that impresses me is how smooth the track is. Also, it's a relatively flat track, even at 9 degrees of banking, though these turns do kind of look pretty steep. One of the things we'll see here in a minute, when you get onto the main straightaway, the drivers always say that the grandstands on either side of the track give you a sense of tunnel vision, and you can't see turn 1. So we'll see that here in a second. We're about halfway through turn 4 right now. All the grandstands still have some trash in them from yesterday. You can see where some cars have gotten into the wall. There's some marks still here on the wall. And we are now at the exit of turn 4, looking down Indy's long main straightaway. And yep, I can see how you can't always see turn 1 real well. I can't imagine doing this at 200 miles an hour. On the left is the entrance to the pits. Right here is where Tony Stewart shouted out on his radio a few years back, "Here, kitty, 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 kitty," when he was dueling with Kevin Harvick for one of his Brickyard 400 wins. See the large pagoda there on your left, and then the large grandstands here on the right on the outside of the track. I was fortunate enough to be the first one in line this morning. We are now approaching the famous start-finish line. Too many memories at that location to go into them all, but it strikes me this is where Jeff Gordon had his 5 Brickyard wins. AJ Foyt, Al Unser, and Rick Mears, their 4 Indy 500 wins, and Michael Schumacher's 5 F1 wins here. We're now getting ready to cross the famous yard of bricks here at the start-finish line. There's nothing else like it. Scoring pylons there on the left, the famous pole, if you will. See the numbers on the right-hand side, the 3, 2, 1, that counts down for the drivers' braking zones as they enter into the track. Enter into turn 1. How brave do you want to be? Do you want to brake at number 3, number 2, or number 1, or sometimes not at all? Now entering the first turn. I'm going to go down to the inside of turn 1 here. You'll probably see the marks through the grass where Dale Earnhardt Jr. tried to, dirt track it through turn 1 here yesterday. Didn't quite work out for him. And then you'll see marks up on the wall there where he eventually backed it into the fence. Trevor Bayne also had a little incident here in turn 1 yesterday, and he backed it into the wall here as well. About halfway through the first turn, you'll see the safer barriers there on the right-hand side have some dents in them from different points of contact over the years. Now in the short chute between turns 1 and 2, and you've got a good shot of the sunrise here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. To me, there's nothing else like it. Getting set to enter turn 2. Probably the famous Brickyard 400 moment here in turn 2 was Sterling Marlin's car caught on fire pretty well here in the early years of the race. On the outside of the track here, the exit of turn 2, you'll see the suites, luxury suites. A lot of the drivers own one of those suites. You see markings on the wall here as we exit turn 2. Set up for the long back straightaway. To me, a lot easier to see turn 3 at the beginning of this straightaway than it was to see turn 1 when we turned and exited turn 4. Again, how amazingly smooth and flat this track is unbelievable. You'll see it up here on the left a little bit if you can. That's the spotter stand, or official stand, I should say. NASCAR and IndyCar officials watch the race from there, report any problems. About halfway down the back straightaway now. Looking at and setting up for turn 3. You'll see braking zone markings on the right again, just like we did on the front straightaway going into turn 1. Those will be coming up here in a second. Now passing the number 3. And then 2, and then 1 again. Turn 3's most famous Brickyard 400 memory is probably the Kurt Busch, Jimmy Spencer dust-up. It caused a little accident a couple years back. I'm going to stay on the higher side of turn 3 and see if I can get you to understand and see. As the safer barrier begins up here in a second, we'll go up high, sort of near that. Right here is where it begins. Sure still wouldn't want to hit it though. That versus concrete. It doesn't seem like it, but already we're pretty much finished with today's lap. Exiting turn 3 now. And we'll see where they want us to go to finish this thing up. That was it. That was a lap around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Thanks for watching.